Hello, Internet. This is Holding Court. I'm Mark, or Amsrai, or whatever. Uh, and today I'm going to be beginning Dishonored. I've heard this game is really good. I haven't actually played it. I'm slow at getting around to games, as you may have been able to tell from watching this stream. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really need to introduce Dishonored. It'll do a good job introducing itself, I'm sure. So, eh? Oh, okay, that's all that is. My face. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get started then. Is that the right? Yes, that's the right one. Oh yeah, for those who were watching yesterday, I did figure out what explode with dignity would be in Latin. Displode cum dignitate. I was not quite correct in my guess before. I was basing my idea around the word frangere, which more means to break apart than it does to explode. The boldest measures are the safest. That sounds questionable. Yeah, let's go with normal. I'd be tempted to go with easy because I'm a plebe, but nah. I have a little bit of I can't even think of the word right now. I haven't been awake for very long. There we go. I can barely see that darkest symbol now. What previous autosaves? You have just returned from a journey of several months, visiting the other nations in the Empire to ask for aid in dealing with the rat plague. You must deliver their diplomatic response to the Empress, whom you serve as Lord Protector.
Corvo, if only there was someone else I trusted to send, so that you could remain near. But there is no one else, and the Spy Master was right to insist that I send you. The plague has taken so many, and we must find a cure. When you are near, my heart is at peace. Emily and I will count the days until you return. Hurry home, and bring good news.
Steady hand. That's it. Watch it. Cast off line. Casting off. We're away. Take us straight to Dunwall Tower. Lord Corvo has news for the Empress, and we've come a long way. bring bad news. The sailors say there's a curse on us. Black magic.
Superstition. For all we know, there's a cure for the plague by now.
Maybe. We live in strange times. Sending the Empress's bodyguard away for a couple of months. That's unusual.
Well, this was important. We need help with the rat plague. Paul there! We're going up.
Sealed. Ready.
Turning on the pipes. And she's rising.
Waking up, she rises.
Oh, at last.
Steady pressure. And stop. Shut her down.
The Empress will be waiting for your news, Corvo.
Wait, really? They couldn't just use, like, a lift?
Know what to do next time?
Yes, yes. The pressure was too low. All these new machines are touchy.
Just don't do anything crazy. Sokolov's changed everything again. We don't know what the hydraulics can do now.
We got him here today doing a portrait. If there's a time to try something, it's now.
Hello, sir.
Corvo, you're back! Will you tell me about your trip, please? Were there any whales? Wait! Let's play hide and seek first. I'll cover my eyes and you hide. You have time? Mother's busy talking to that nasty old spy master. Okay, here we go.
What?
While you were gone, Mother seemed very sad. I think she missed you. Let's see if you're still good at this. I'll hide my eyes and count, and at the end of the countdown, I'll try and find you. Okay, I'm going to count to 10. Find a place to hide. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here I come.
That didn't work so well.
Let's see where you're hiding.
I'm sure there were some better spots that I just didn't notice.
I'll find you. Okay, you win. We should go now, so Mother can see you too. Did you see any monsters while traveling to the other isles? My nanny says the big ocean's full of them. But I think she only says that to scare me.
Hold on a sec, I'm going to futz with the controls a little bit. Hmm. You know, there's not really a better button for block. I was hoping to make control the sneak key, because that's what I'm used to. But, this works. I do want to speed up the mouse a little bit, though. There we go, that feels a little more natural.
Welcome home, Lord Protector. Stop moving, Campbell. And you, Corvo, welcome back. From wherever you've been. They sent him all around the Isles to beg for aid. A waste of time. My elixir will banish the plague from this city. Now keep still a moment, High Overseer Campbell.
I'm not so sure that painting looks like Campbell.
Things are bad. Could the city
She'll
get
see
any
you
worse?
at once.
Indeed, I believe so.
They're sick people, not criminals.
We've gone beyond that question, Your Majesty.
They're my citizens, and we will save them from the plague if we can. All of them.
Very well.
We will not speak of this again.
Mother, Corvo is back.
Thank you, Emily. Leave us, please.
As you wish, Your Majesty. Corvo. 2 days early. Full of surprises, as usual.
Corvo, if you won't marry my
Follow
mother,
me, Captain.
would you marry
You
me?
should leave them alone.
A little young for that.
It's a fair wind that brings you home to me. What news have you brought?
Letter? A gazebo.
I hoped that one of the other cities had dealt with this before.
Attack it.
Knew of some cure. This news is very bad. We're at the breaking point. Cowards. They're going to blockade us. They'll wait to see if the plague turns the city into a graveyard.
Are you okay, Mother? You seem sad.
Yes, don't worry, darling. Mother is fine. Wait, where are the guards? Who sent them away?
Mother, look! What are they doing on the rooftop?
What? Emily, come here! Emily, get behind me! Look out! Another one! Corvo, thank you. If you hadn't been here... No more! Not again!
Mommy!
No! Get away from her!
Corvo! Mommy! Get away! Corvo!
Vance?
Corvo, it's all coming apart. Find Emily. Protect her. You're the only one who'll know what to do. Won't you? Corvo.
us all. Look at what he's done.
Yes, he's killed the Empress. What did you do with young Lady Emily, traitor?
Her own bodyguard. Ironic.
I'll see you beheaded for this, Corvo. Peg him.
The fact that Emily was missing after such a short time and he's still there at the scene of the murder? No, that's not really enough to pin it on him. I mean, the fact that Emily is gone should be enough to cast doubt on the situation. 6 months have passed since you were accused by the royal spymaster of murdering the Empress and conspiring to abduct her daughter, Emily, the royal heir. Now locked away in Coldridge Prison, the time of your execution draws near.
This is your final chance, Corvo. Sign the confession, and let me give you the rights to put your spirit at ease.
That's enough for now. Get out. Let's give the man some time to think. Corvo, the Empress is dead. Her daughter Emily is hidden away, and no one will ever know the truth.
Yes, unlucky you. Tomorrow you'll be executed, but it's for a good cause. This country needs strong leadership now, someone to guide the weak. And that's where we come in.
There was nothing personal in this, even though you almost sank our plans. But it turned out well. You were in the wrong place at the right time, and someone has to take the fall. Goodbye, Corvo. Guards! Take him back to his cell.
You should eat, Corvo. This meal comes from a friend.
Corvo, who we are is irrelevant right now. Just know that we have faith in you. Here is the key to your cell. Once you're out, head for the prison's interrogation room. Take the explosive there and plant it on the outer door. When the bomb goes off, run. Make for the river and lose yourself in the sewers. You'll find some useful gear stashed there. One of the prison guards will leave a weapon just outside your cell, and good luck. We need you alive and well for what's to come. A friend. Rad. A little fire that warms is better than a big fire that burns. Okay.
Let me know if you want to gamble on the hounds again. Bug someone else. So many people are coming to the execution tomorrow. It's on account of Corvo, the one who killed the Empress and abducted her daughter, Emily.
You're out. Good for you.
Hey,
kill a guard for me, will ya?
social event.
Let me out! I've got 3 days before they cut my head off.
As bad as us betting on the dogfights.
Attention,
Slackjaw
the
in
solitary wing
He's
is
gotta
off
get me
limits
out.
to maintenance crews, unless accompanied by an officer of the watch.
Let me know if you want to take my
Solitary
patrol.
wing
You're such a
must be
chopper.
scheduled in advance, with 1 week's notice.
Assassinations and non-lethal takedowns. That's what I'm going for. The less dark outcome. Well, shoot. I'm not too good at this yet.
So many people are coming to the execution tomorrow.
Yes, yes.
Anna Corvo, the one who killed the Empress and abducted her daughter, Emily.
So it's an occasion.
Right. A social event for the high and mighty. See the noble Lord Protector get his head chopped off.
Hey, what's going on?
Attention, the solitary wing is off limits to maintenance crews, unless accompanied by an officer of the watch.
Take that!
Oof. Yikes.
Attention, tomorrow's execution will be restricted to the personnel assigned to the event and approved dignitaries only.
Burn this place to the ground. Tell Slackjaw I'm in here. He's gotta get me out.
You're out. Good for you. Cut some throats.
Where is Corvo? I've heard stories about the way he fights. We need to handle this ourselves before it gets to the cabin.
Don't fall apart on me. We'll get him. There's 2 of us.
Accompanied by an officer of the watch. Escort through the solitary wing must be scheduled in advance, with 1 week's notice.
What's down? Oh, I'll find you. Help!
It's more difficult than I thought, trying to, not kill anybody.
Attention. The solitary wing is off limits to maintenance crews, unless accompanied by an officer of the watch. Escort through the solitary wing must be scheduled in advance, with 1 week's notice.
Thought I saw something gleaming over here. But I guess not.
Attention. Tomorrow's execution will be restricted to the
There's totally a
personnel
thing there.
assigned to the event and approved dignitaries.
It's, I guess it's just showing through that little gutter there.
Corvo's unconscious again. Though he's taken more punishment than the 2 men we brought in for interrogation. When he wakes, we'll start again. Having him sign the confession for her murder isn't critical, but it might be useful to us later. The assassination of an empress is not a trivial matter.
Duty officers report Corvo's interrogation. Corvo Atano, formerly the Royal Protector, will be brought in for interrogation. This is of utmost importance. The Lord Regent and High Overseer Campbell will conduct the questioning themselves. Follow their orders without hesitation and keep the torturer under control. If Corvo dies in his hands, instead of getting the public execution the Lord Regent wants, it'll be your head that rolls next. Sure, what's up with that? Press J to access the journal. There you can lots of empty bottles. Ooh. Excerpt from a book on the esoteric practices of the Abbey. Once a child shows the proper inclination, he is marked. Overseers are assigned to study the subject surreptitiously in order to determine whether this inclination is supported by cosmological conditions and other signs ongoing throughout the year. At the end of the cycle, those befitting further testing are removed from their homes some hours before dawn and must begin the march to an outpost outside the city. There the children undergo ritual preparation and evaluation until the last night of the month of rain, when they make a pilgrimage to White Cliff. During an elaborate ceremony, it is determined which of the children will become overseers and which must be put down. Oof. Whale oil tax. Good for the city, good for us all. Heavy incubator. Excavator 52, and some kind of tanks. None will be the wiser, except for all the corpses.
Ackworth, you lazy slug. Did you patrol the yard?
Sorry, not yet. I was gonna report that boiler leak from yesterday.
Forget it. Just do your rounds. A report's trouble for both of us.
I'm moving.
Attention. The solitary wing is off limits to maintenance crews, unless accompanied by an officer of the watch. Escort through the solitary wing must be scheduled in advance, with 1 week's notice.
Hey, can I buy your ration of elixir from today?
You're such a choffer.
Ha! You little bastard. That's just ridiculous. Stupid.
Corvo's execution is tomorrow, right?
Yeah, but everything has to be set up today.
Attention. Tomorrow's execution will be restricted to the personnel
Not everyone
assigned to
did.
the event
I really
and
like
approved
the episode.
dignitaries only.
Hey.
Attention. The solitary wing is off limits to maintenance crews, unless accompanied by an officer of the watch. Escort through the solitary wing must be scheduled in advance, with 1 week's notice.
Dump you in the river. You're fish bait now.
Well, crap. I'm bad at stealth.
Corvo's execution is tomorrow, right?
Yeah, but everything has to be set up today.
Attention. Tomorrow's execution will be restricted to the personnel
Not everyone
assigned to
did.
the event
I
and
really like
approved
the episode.
dignitaries only. Unless accompanied by an officer of the watch. Escort through the solitary wing must be scheduled in advance, with 1 week's notice. Attention. Tomorrow's execution will be restricted to the personnel assigned to the event and approved dignitaries only.
Blind hagfish.
Hey, you always amuse me.
Attention. The solitary wing is off limits to maintenance crews, unless accompanied by an officer of the watch. Escort through the solitary wing must be scheduled in advance, with 1 week's notice.
He's not a very good watchman.
What the? Take it!
Seriously, I thought I was going to have to make a break for it after that, but... Really not notice anything out of the ordinary with that. I took them for smarter than they were.
Fucking longer do I have my fuck?
that's not the right way. You have escaped Coldridge Prison with the help of hidden allies. If you can reach Wrenhaven River, they promise to aid you in your next move.
Use some kind of explosive to blast his way out. It doesn't happen by accident.
You think he had help? Who'd know how to do that?
Bottle Street gang, maybe. Watch for booby traps. Be some down here by the look of it.
Good. If we're lucky, one of them will get Corvo.
You're afraid of him? He's Sir Conan. It's all merchants and whores down there.
Kids like you, you never saw what he was like. I saw him fight 3 to 1 in the practice round.
Corvo, if you're reading this, it means our plan worked and you've broken free from Coldridge. One of our contacts has hidden weapons for you to use somewhere deeper in the sewers. Grab the gear and find Samuel where these tunnels dump out into the river. He will bring you to us. A friend who will meet you soon.
I hope it's me that finds him.
I hope it is too.
Ears itch. Sorry. Okay, that's better. Those are some fierce rats. Jeez. Nothing left. Damien's journal. Amanda and I only had enough coin to buy half the elixir we needed. Even that's all gone now, and there's nothing to do but wait. We're very sick, and there's no place above to hide from the city watch. They're breaking into houses all over our district. So we'll stay here and share the last hours together. Our fire will keep the rats away, but they'll inherit this city. Ugh. Don't know what money's for yet, but hey. Not even if I really need to.
Aren't we supposed to load the bodies in the carts heading to the flooded district?
Yeah, but screw that. That's too far. I don't want to catch the plague, do you?
No. Doesn't the elixir prevent it?
Maybe. Either way, let's just jump them down there. Let the rats eat them.
You're just, idiots making bad situations worse. Lol butts. Okay. Rats. Achoo. Achoo. Aren't you gonna notice?
Attention Dunwall citizens. The assassin Corvo, responsible for the murder of our fair Empress and the disappearance of Lady Emily, heir to the throne, has temporarily escaped state custody. Any evidence as to his whereabouts must be delivered to the City Watch at once.
No one will keep us from death. That's not what I meant to do. The outsider walks among us. Well, that just sounds all kinds of nationalist. chain, I guess. You cannot kill the rat plague. Also, that's kind of unfortunate that it's rats. I mean, the actual bubonic plague was likely spread by gerbils, actually. Oops! Well, that, nice aim there, projectile launcher. Grab the wrench. I can't make this Bioshock. The emotional energy of women. Oh, I can't just jump up there. There we go. The Lord Regent is a shriveled prick and a liar. Yeah. Ooh, hemlock essence. Why is that sold in bottles like that? That doesn't make sense. Oh, okay. I only saw 1 foot there at first, and so I thought it was some sort of horribly deformed, like, half a person sprawled out there. But no, I see there it's just tied up. Nah, candles can stay lit. That's fine. Keep the rats at bay. Greetings, Corvo, or should I say Lord Protector, as you were known before that title was wrongfully taken from you. We are servants of the Empire and of the True Empress, a group of loyalists who want very much to meet you. Take these weapons, crafted for you of the finest materials in the Isles, and meet with our man Samuel near where the tunnels spill into Wrenhaven River. All haste and luck. We share a common purpose. Special equipment. Shiny. Let's have an empty bottle for a while. Oh, okay. So let's try this. That's sweet. There's the Pratchett jellied eels. Jelly. In case you're too daft to remember, look to your whiskey for the answer. Whiskey. Got it? If you want your share, you'll sort it out. If not, come back for it next month. Whiskey. A combolation required. Okay, so there's... thought that sign said malt for a minute, and I was like, is that my whiskey clue? That's a bottle of whiskey. Make it flip over. Yes, I can make it land. Straight up. Okay. Whiskey, whiskey, whiskey. No, no. Whiskey bottles nearby. Those are not whiskey. It's not whiskey, but I can't tell what it is. Cheap wine or something. $782. Well, that's definitely a number. Let's see if that helps. See if that. Oh hey, things. Empty bottle. Yeah. Oh, that is definitely chemical in nature. I mean, like relating to chemistry. Oh, wait, here we go. Whiskey. 5-1. Herp, it was right there. As usual, I was trying to make it harder than it actually was. War Raid Jewel Box. 50 coin. Health Elixir. And books. Jelly would be none the wiser.
Won't get past me, sir. Do you know who we're hunting here? Don't try to take him out alone.
But what if no one from the squad is around?
Then try to make a lot of noise when you die. Knock something over if you can.
Bastard. Smells like a dead weeper in here.
Hell's a weeper. Medicinal herbs.
They come here to die sometimes in the dark. Just slip into the water, don't come out. Wonder how deep it is. I can't see the bottom.
Can't see the bottom. Into deep, yeah. Oh, can't see the bottom. No, it's can't touch the bottom. Drop on an enemy from above and press left mouse button just before landing on him to perform a drop assassination. You won't take any damage from the fall. Really? Hold on a second. Save. Save. Back. Resume. Wonder if I can hit him with this bottle. Oh no, he's walking off now. Maybe now I can hit him with this bottle.
Boy, was that.
Someone help me out! Get a ride! Damn you!
Oh, there's still more? Dang. Oh well. Hopefully I can stay within my quota. That's what I should have done. Swim through the disgusting sewer water that guy pissed in. Why isn't the drinking actually doing anything? Anything neat hiding under here? Looks like no. Blood from the eyes. Lovely.
Attention, Dunwall citizens. The assassin Corvo, responsible for the murder of our fair Empress and the disappearance of Lady Emily, heir to the throne, has temporarily escaped state custody. Several brave officers of the state are dead by his hand. He is to be captured or killed at any cost.
Save again real quick, see if I can't. See if I can't, like, shoot that down. Yes, I can. All it was explosive, though. Oh boy. Wire. Yeah, let's grab an empty bottle. Just in case.
Samuel, and I work for some good people who want very much to meet you. They said you'd come out here. I could still hardly believe it. I'll take you to meet them. Just down the river from here. Look around if you need. I'll be here. Just don't take too long. a hot meal and a warm bed waiting for you.
Overall chaos high. Oof. There were a lot of coins that I missed. Wow. I'm apparently not so good at this. Hidden in an old bar on the river, your new allies have plans to share with you. Meet with the Loyalists' inner circle to learn what they've got in mind.
This is the Hound Pit's pub, closed for business, half the district marked off as dead from the plague. We're right under the Lord Regent's nose, and he don't know a thing. Of course, if anyone finds out what we're up to, the Watch will break in with swords drawn. And now that you've escaped, the Lord Regent's going to be tearing the city apart. Take you up to meet Admiral Havelock and the rest of the Loyalists. The Admiral's a man to be reckoned with. If anyone can help you find that missing girl, Lady Emily, and clear your name, he can.
Hello. Oh, shoot. Fish are aggressive. The outsider walks among us.
Attention all citizens. Curfew extends from sundown to sunrise unless you are otherwise authorized. Violators will be subject to interrogation and detained when necessary. Remember, the boldest measures are the safest.
Yeah, I'll check that out later.
I expect they're hard at work in there. Best join them. They'll help you get whoever really killed the Empress.
You're just standing there looking at me.
So it's starting at last, Admiral. You found our man. Even after 6 months in Coldridge Prison, he slipped out like it was nothing.
Yes. Not surprising. He was the personal bodyguard of the Empress. You've heard the stories.
Yes, I have. It still amazes me that someone could get to the Empress and young Lady Emily.
No one knows the real story, Trevor. We all have our suspicions. We'll know the truth in time.
He's strong and quick. But I hope he understands subtlety as well.
This isn't one of your fancy dress parties. The reality is that we need men killed. Have you ever killed a man?
Only with my wit. But it's a fair point as always. He'll be here soon, and I'm looking forward to meeting him.
We can continue this later, Lord Pendleton. The man of the hour is here.
Corvo, I'm Admiral Havelock, a true servant of the Empire, like you. Until the Lord Regent purged those of us who wouldn't recognize his claim on the throne.
And I'm Lord Trevor Pendleton. I represent the nobility in our little group. But we all act as equals here at the Hound Pits pub.
This is a momentous occasion, Corvo. I'm going to come out with it. We've been building a coalition of loyalists, aimed at ending the Lord Regent's tyranny and restoring the throne.
At risk of execution, we're committed to finding young Lady Emily and seeing her crowned as Empress.
We've got big plans, but we can't do any of it without you. We need your skills, your ability in a fight, and in helping us, we're going to help you destroy the men who murdered the Empress.
Sorry. You must be exhausted. We can discuss this further after you've recovered. But before you retire, you should introduce yourself to Piero. He's challenging at times, but his industrious mind buys him that right.
Yes. Piero's as much an artist as a technician. He's going to be crafting the gear you'll need. Go talk to him, and then get some sleep. We can talk more when you've rested. Good to have you with us, Corvo. Nothing against the others, but there's no substitute for a man who's done his service for the crown. Have you talked to Piero yet? He made the weapons we left for you on your way out of Coleridge Prison. Go see him when you can.
The heck? That was weird.
Piero still wants to work with you. He's not a diplomat, but he's a brilliant man.
Do not attempt to house or care for a friend or family member who shows signs of blood on their face and chest area. The only way to help them is to bring them to the City Watch. They will be taken to the flooded district for treatment.
I'll be crafting your weapons and gear, all custom work. For you, I will create the tools of a master assassin. No! This cannot happen now. The tank of whale oil is running. Will you get a new tank from upstairs, please, while I hold this in place? Be careful. The oil's unstable. When it explodes, there is a terrible mess.
Excerpt from a series of newspaper articles from prominent natural philosophers by Piero Joplin. It is through no fault of my own that the average citizen has expressed a preference for Sokolov's elixir over my own formula, sold as Piero's Remedy, a name I did not choose, if you must know the truth. The public has spoken its usual message of idiocy, spending their coin as a means of selecting Sokolov's formula over mine, which I believe to be equal, if not superior. Much has been made over the popularity of these concoctions as a means of resisting this remarkable new plague. I say remarkable because this strain works with an efficiency we have not seen in the history of the Empire. This plague, now making its way through the city of Dunwall, is unrivaled in its effectiveness. I have studied it within the blood of those so afflicted, and it is nearly perfect, elegant, in fact. And while it is true that Piero's Remedy and Sokolov's elixir are known to protect the body against the plague equally, my own has properties, not fully understood, which relate to the mind itself and the spirit, and it is in this way that my formula wins out. Here is where one should pay attention to this contest. For you see, Sokolov's elixir, with its emphasis on the brute animal body, is a crass goo better suited for livestock. The subtle and secretive variants in the key ingredients making up Piero's Remedy ensure that it works on the higher functions that separate humankind from the mindless blue-jawed hagfish swimming in the Wrenhaven River. Piero, No, I will not sign off on these purchases. A bag of powdered crystal? Tivian ore? What's wrong with the metals in crystal? King Sparrow feathers. If you need... what's wrong with the metals in crystal? King Sparrow feathers? If you need feathers, sacrifice your own pillow. Maybe at the academy everything you needed was paid for by tariff and handed out willy-nilly, but this is my bar, or what's left of it. And we're operating on a budget. We're running low on oil, food, elixir, building materials, and everything else, so you've got to slow down. While I'm footing the bill, I will not approve your purchases unless they're absolutely required. No more copper wire or special herbs. If you need those things, go out and scavenge them. Half the city is in ruins, so no one is going to miss any of the odd crap you seem to need. Admiral Havelock. Whale vivisection. Excerpt from the notes of a natural philosopher aboard a whaling ship. Remarkably, each specimen I had the pleasure of studying during the voyage possessed some minor variance in physiology. On the second leg of the trip, east of Tivia, the crew hauled aboard a female, some 42 feet in length. I estimate she weighed 35 tons, and the ship sat low, rocking side to side through the night with her thrashing. By candlelight, I took her apart, sketching and taking notes. Against her bellowing, I cut into the mass of tentacles around her mouth. Tentacles? Within, I found row upon row of teeth and a baleen running along the upper jaw. Through this broom-like structure, I assumed she filtered food from the water that was too small to be chewed. Excerpt from The Founder of the Greaves Whale House by Ebenezer Greaves. Out at sea, they secure the beast with hooks, with lines cast from the main ship and from several smaller boats. Buoys keep the whale from diving deep. Once it's caught, a larger hook is driven through the tail, which is used to hoist the creature up through the chute. They moan and bellow for some time as the men get them onto the deck, then lift them into the scaffolding overhead. The ship adjusts its prow and returns to port in Dunwall, where the crew works on the great creature, slicing off the fattiest parts while it still lives. Ugh. Sokolov no longer has the upper hand with regard to supplies of whale oil. The good admiral has paid for the installation of my own system, which will enable me to work in this place. The oil tank dispenser, when activated, will produce an empty vessel for filling. When the empty tank is held near the oil tank refill pump, the magnetic attractor should take the tank and lock it in the correct configuration. Using the lever will begin the refilling process. Once refilling is completed, the tank can be removed and placed in service. Extreme caution must be used in handling the full tanks. They are quite unstable. The system is sound and well engineered. It appears that the Greaves Oil Company has done something correctly for once.
The Academy teaches that absurd idea that the energy in whale oil arises from the need to maintain life functions at extreme ocean depths. The pressure and the cold are too much to endure without it. I speculate that a human being might, by a process of adaptation, produce high-energy humors in the body. I could build a tank that would slowly increase pressure on a subject over a long period of time, and then observe them for years if need be, to see if the formulation of energetic substances developed. Surely the Empress would be able to furnish me with facilities subject to the necessary legal amnesty.
Yeesh. That one. Excerpt from a manual on new City Watch procedures. Commissioned by the Lord Regent in the face of the growing plague crisis, the dead counter is a position that will only be given to officers, usually of junior or middle grades. In most matters of edict or curfew enforcement, these officers will defer to the acting officer on duty. However, any dead counter will have command in situations related to the plague and the handling of the dead, including those with late-stage plague symptoms, called weepers in common parlance. Starting in the month of rain, interested officers may apply for the test and, if accepted, for the 2-week training tour. Pay will be administered in coin and rations of elixir at 1 1/2 normal pay grade.
Perfect. Now plug it in. Perfect. Thank you, Cole. Here, see? The assassin's mask. You're a wanted man, so everyone in the city knows your face, but this mask will mean terror to them. If you just hold still, fit must be precise. There. Can you see normally? Lens out of alignment. There. Better now? I could create more for you. Upgrades for your gear, weapons, munitions. But our situation here is desperate. Scavenge the city for valuables, and I will resell them on the black market. That should give us the money to craft the things you need. Tell me what I can make for you.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. See, that's my kind of stealth right there. My kind of infiltration. Just turn what already exists to my advantage. But let's also take a look at the upgrades. Like it. Disable security devices or make them work in your favor by using a rewire tool on the circuitry panel for the security device you want to hack. Rewired walls of light, arc pylons, and watchtowers will harm your enemies instead of you, while rewired alarms will be fully disabled. Excuse me. And let's get some sleep bolts. That sounds good. Okay.
You must be exhausted. I advise that you get some sleep. Your life will get even more difficult soon. You should rest while you can. Very well. You know best. Let me know if you need anything more.
I wanted to grab something and put it in there. Okay, the white ones must be the incendiary darts. Really? Is there a button to just, like, put away? When did you come up here?
Tell me what I can make for you.
Oh, no. I didn't actually have any particular use for that. It just seemed like something I ought to do.
My break with the Academy was explosive, for lack of a better word. I had to rebuild from scratch, but so much the better. I was sick of using tools made by lesser men. You must have known Sokolov at court. Clever, yes, but fundamentally a second-rate mind.
Get over there. Yes. Okay. That could be important.
Attention Dunwall citizens.
Oh my!
Be advised, the
me.
river crust infestation
you
has
could
spread
only be
downriver
Corvo.
as far as the
I
river
suppose you're
mouth and
practicing
flooding
for your...
district. Do not
well,
attempt
your
to
job.
approach or destroy
You're
a
much
river
younger than
crust.
I expected.
Any items recovered from
Do
doing
make yourself
so
at
are
home.
considered state property.
Terrible you got blamed for the death of the Empress. Rest her spirit. I'm sorry it's so dark. We can't risk being seen. It is a bit romantic, though, isn't it?
I like her.
I used to be the hostess here. Oh, I could tell you stories about that, believe me.
They're not very tolerant of drunkenness. And at least, what do you do with the drunken sailor? They, most of the punishments are more just, like,
Lady Emily
pranks.
Caldwell was abducted 6 months ago during her mother's terrible murder. Anyone with information leading to the location or return of the daughter of our beloved late Empress is required to speak to the City Watch at once.
Excerpt from a series of Overseer invocations by High Overseer Abram Templeton. And I say to you, brothers, it is here that we make our stand as a righteous force against the growing darkness. It is here that we unite against the spirits of the unknown that would drag us screaming into the night, never to return to our homes, to our families. Together we will serve as a rod to those who would stray from the herd, for the foggy gray wastes of the outsider. Ugh. We will burn a bright fire with our virtuous actions so that others will not lose their way. And to those who choose to wander beyond the walls of our homes in far places, we will strike at them swiftly before they whisper to their neighbors, filling their hearts with strangeness and doubt. Do not like the sound of that.
He's here to work with our masters.
People say he killed the Empress.
Of course he didn't. People are foolish and believe whatever they're told.
Okay. If the Admiral trusts him, then so will I.
Oh, it's just a bathroom. Excerpt from the Travel Journal of a Whaler in His Final Years, A Gaffer's Tale, Volume 2, or A Gaffer's Final Passage. After more than a quarter of a century, I am done with whaling, too broken to continue. I've seen all the corners of the Isles and made more coin than most men see in a lifetime, but it's all gone. I've lived through an emperor and watched his daughter take the throne, fair young empress she was, but slain so young. Everything beautiful comes to die. I've eaten in every port of the known world, and sailed in the loneliest waters you could imagine. I've seen the cliffs around Pandysia. Even the best of it doesn't give me an ounce of joy. The years come back across my dreams as a line of butchered bodies, long, sleek, and singing among the waves under the moonlight, only to be speared by ugly, weather-scarred men who'd knife each other for a good pair of boots. Each year I had less time to come home. My tongue forgot the language of small chatter, and those who lived in the cities thought me odd. My sister Nina hardly knew what to say to me during our visits. When she lost her business to the Lord Regent's crooked barrister, I was 100 miles east of Morley, gaff hand frozen from the sleet as we tracked the first bull whale we'd seen in months. I helped her as much as I could, but Nina died in the early days of the plague. None of it mattered. If I'm jaded and bitter, it's because this industry has taken away my dreams. The world has beaten me. Excerpt from a longer work of fiction. Finding my way by the feeble light of the dying fire, I saw her working. A large needle moved in her hand, following precise esoteric patterns. Knots and loops of seamstress craft from ancient days. Beneath her needle, his body clenched and shuddered, shaking the wooden table. A morbid fascination pushed me closer until she turned her blank face toward me, resting the needle in his flesh. With a refined tone, she addressed me. "So you are the lover, I presume. You too have been unfaithful, and it is now your turn to be mended." Ooh. No. Excerpt from a theater play. Lord Nathan Bale, shaking with outrage. "How dare you, sir, clothed so in my very home? I should hand you over to the watch, depraved Tivian." Prince Calasar, moving closer. "That's a harsh welcome for royalty, my lord. Your daughter treated me with much more hospitality. Alas, she has gone out for the evening, leaving me all alone." Lord Nathan Bale, stammering, studying the younger man before him. What are you doing? Leave this house. Go back to your frozen wasteland, pale rascal." Prince Calasar, smiling coyly, reaching out. "No need for anger between us, Lord Bale. Is it so wrong for me to be here? As I've proven, I've developed an affinity for you and your family." Lord Nathan Bale, gasping. "Oh my, Calasar, your skin is so warm, it burns." Bath time. Do. Scrub. Okay. So this is where I was before. Good. And what, pray tell, is downstairs from here? Quite a bit of coin. Good.
Attention, citizens of Dunwall. The Old Port District has been added to the evacuation list. The Weeper count for the month of siege has increased. The Lord Regent has decreed that plague ordinances will remain in effect through the month of rain. Stay alert and stay loyal.
Loyal.
The Admiral served in the Navy under the Empress. But something happened with the Lord Regent that drove the Admiral out. If I understand it right.
Oh yeah, that's out in the streets there. There we go. Let me up. Fine. Go this way. Copper wire. Excellent.
River traffic is forbidden from landing in the distillery district due to risk of infectious contact. Violators will be taken to the flooded district for treatment and rehabilitation. not attempt to house or care for a friend or family member who shows signs of blood on their face and chest area. The only way to help them is to bring them to the City Watch. They will be taken to the flooded district for treatment.
Ooh. This is an opulently appointed room for what it is. 2 beds. The Fugue Feast. Excerpt from a book on the celebrations and holidays. At the end of every year, after the last day of the month of songs, we begin the Fugue Feast. The new year has not started, and thus the time that follows is outside the calendar. A period of celebration and feasting begins, during which the people abandon the very practices that keep them whole and healthy over the year. Many leave their homes euphoric with spirits or potent herbs. Some paint their faces or wear masks to conceal themselves as they pursue their passions without reservation. When the right cosmological signs are observed and it is time for the calendar to begin anew, the sitting High Overseer calls for the Hymn of Atonement, and the Fugue Feast ends. So that's, the Fugue Feast would be Mardi Gras, it sounds like. Families return to their homes, wives to their husbands. Enemies put down their weapons and fires are extinguished. No complaint is given for those who have wronged others, deviated from ancient codes, or discarded oaths. For this time during the astrological alignment does not exist and is not recorded. The following day starts the new year, marked on the first day of the month of Earth, as it has always been. Call to the Spheres, Volume 1. Excerpt from a work of fiction, early chapters. My stomach twisted as the engines of the odd vessel roared louder. It was the creation of Arkane, the third prefect from the Academy of Natural Philosophy. He was exhilarated, savoring each of the small craft's undulations. Arkane pulled a lever and a great gout of smoke surrounded us. The smell of burning whale oil grew unbearable as the machine propelled itself upward. I was too afraid to look through the window, which suddenly didn't feel thick enough. As if knowing my thoughts, Overseer Bryn looked at me and smiled. Recite some of the litany, my pupil. It will protect your heart from the turpitude of the void on your way to the outer spheres. Trials of Aptitude, excerpt from a book on the esoteric practices of the Abbey. Once a child shows the oh, wait, I've read that already. Powdered crystal. looting my dudes. Loot, loot, loot. He's the lootsman. Oh, I can't go around that way. Oh, well. That is oddly high contrast right there. That must be something important.
You can call on Cecilia for the more menial tasks. It's what she's suited for.
Oh, well, that's mean. But, well, it is pseudo-Victorian England. I suppose classism is, par for the course.
Pleased to meet you,
Hello,
Mr.
my lord.
Corvo. I saw you at court in happier days, but you might not remember. I was once a close ally to the Lord Regent, Hiram Burroughs, back when he was just the spy master. He's one manipulative bastard, I can tell you that. My furnishings have been installed at last with no small amount of complaining by that antiquated boatman. The others have no idea what it's like to suffer as I have. Speaking of which... Wallace, please breathe 2 bottles of Dunwall Red, never mind which, and fetch a clean glass. Well, I'll begin again tomorrow.
Yes, suffer. And I suppose suffering is relative, but still. Hello.
There's something distinguished about you, Corvo. Was there nobility back in your family line? I wouldn't be surprised.
That's a key. Whose room is this? It is nobody's room because there's nobody in here right now. Wahahaha. Pubmaster room key. Excellent. Man, game heroes really are kleptomaniacs. A Gaffer's Tale Volume 2. That is the exact same passage I read before. Havelock Log Entry 1. It has been days since our men were dispatched to stash weapons for Corvo in the old sewer. They have not returned, so I can only hope that they succeeded getting the packages delivered. Piero spent considerable time and resources making those things. If I could find a way to mass-produce them, the Dunwall Navy would secure its place as the dominant force on the globe. But back to Corvo. Can he actually break out of Coldridge? And if so, will he make his way here? I personally give him odds of 1 in 5. Processed whale oil. Oh, why? Admiralty and the Fleet, excerpt from a book on naval history. While each of the Isles has some form of naval fleet, none is more envied than that of Bristol, with its long, proud history of great ships and the admirals who command them. Boys come of age in the cities of Bristol hoping to someday captain such a ship, and family dynasties are made by those captains who track down infamous pirates or crush seditious uprisings, as during the Morley insurrection. In times of war and peace, Bristol continues to innovate at sea. The ship designs of Anton Sokolov himself now represent the highest standard in the whaling trade, allowing crews to haul their kill up over the deck and begin their butchery and processing even as the ship returns to Dunwall. The crews can be seen working on their latest whale as the ship moves slowly up the Wrenhaven River, coming to dock with one of the powerful warehouse companies, such as the Greaves Whaling House. Suspended in the rigging overhead and backlit by the setting sun, the silhouette of one of these creatures makes a moving sight as it cruises to its final resting place in the industrial heart of the capital city. A Gaffer's Tale Volume 1, or A Gaffer's Early Adventures. My sister Nina and I left Tivia together, saying goodbye to our aunt, the woman who had raised us since childhood. Leaving behind our home city of Yarrow and the cold but beautiful white landscapes we had always known, we boarded a ship for Dunwall. Our parents had left us with a sizable inheritance, and we spent half of this getting to the capital city and establishing a small import shop dedicated to Tivian furs. Once I'd helped Nina establish the business, I was free to pursue my dream. Signing on with a whaling ship was the most exciting thing I'd ever done, and I saw it as a means to an end. Someday I would captain my own crew, and eventually own a fleet of similar vessels. With tears in her eyes, Nina kissed me farewell, and I did not see her again for many months. As an apprentice to the Gaffer, I got to see the tracking and killing of the great beasts up close. Nothing had ever fired my spirit so as the wind and pounding waves. Racing after a wounded whale being pulled by a skein of cables embedded in its thick flesh. I changed more in those first 7 months than I had in the previous 7 years. Whaling was beginning to put its mark on me so that Nina barely recognized me when I returned, tanned and sinewy with muscle, weather creases already wrinkling the corners of my eyes. But she could see that I was filled with joy, having found my purpose. This is
Attention Dunwall citizens. Lady Emily Caldwin was abducted 6 months ago during her mother's terrible murder. Anyone with information leading to the location or return of the daughter of our beloved late Empress is required to speak to the City Watch at once.
I hope the bed's to your liking. Let me know if you have trouble sleeping.
Yes, I went down there already. Oh, hello.
Please follow me to your quarters.
I've already been up there, but thanks.
This is your room. It was chosen to give you privacy. I understand you'll need your rest. Just a moment while I save my game here
I myself must also go record my life. I will be right back. And I'm back. What? Well, this is interesting.
Hello, Corvo. Your life has taken a turn, has it not? The Empress is dead. Her precious daughter Emily is lost somewhere in the city, and you will play a pivotal role in the days to come. For this, I have chosen you and drawn you into the void. I am the outsider, and this is my mark. There are forces in the world and beyond the world, great forces that many call magic. And now, these forces will serve your will. Use this newfound power, my gift to you. Come find me.
Ooh. This is fancy. Can I have this boat? Can I take it out of this little realm you've got here? Cannot save her. Ooh. Well, that's Corvo, I am very sad. They say that you're dead like Mother, but I'm going to put this note in a bottle and throw it into the river because I do not believe them. Living here is very strange. I do not like it, so please come for me if you can. So whale oil is not simply melted blubber, then. But I do not like what this implies. That's a whale. Mr. Spymaster, toppling the things. Segundo Bastilon, Dunwall, Hutterstead. White Cliff must be Dover. These, I'm not sure, some sort of analogs of France, Spain, and Portugal, perhaps? Missing. That appears to be the noble guys, and that's me, I think.
days that follow, your trials will be great, Corvo. Seek the ancient runes bearing my mark in the lonely places of your world, and at shrines raised in my name. These runes will grant you powers beyond those of other men. To help you find these runes, I give you this, the heart of a living thing, molded by my hands. With this heart, you will hear many secrets, and it will guide you toward my runes, no matter how they may be hidden. Listen to the heart now, and find another rune.
Equipping the heart in your left hand helps you locate bone charms or runes, even through walls. The heart beats and lights up when you are facing a bone charm or rune, and it beats faster as you get closer. The heart will whisper secrets if you press right target. Right target. If you press the right mouse button while targeting a person or location. Yes, good. There's fish in the air. That kind of looks cool. I like that. I will go this way first. Or better still, yes, I figured that out. Once you've collected some runes, open the journal and go to the power section to exchange them for powers. Runes can be collected and used to acquire supernatural powers. Blink Blanc. Dark Vision. Possession. Wind Blast. Vitality. Yeah, Dark Vision sounds like a very good ability to have. Cool.
How you use what I have given you falls upon you, as it has to the others before you. And now I return you to your world, but know that I will be watching with great interest.
Hidden in an old bar on the river, your new allies have plans to share with you. Meet with the Loyalists' inner circle to learn what they've got in mind. Mystical whale artifact. Bone charm. Bone charms provide small supernatural benefits. Locate them by listening for the song they emit. By default, you can activate up to 3 bone charms at once in the bone charm section of the journal. Journal of Granny Rags. Excerpt from the Ramblings of a Street Denizen.
Of course I'll tell you, dearie. I won't keep any secrets from you in the end. All the dreary days of my life are like the windows of a house. From the kitchen I can see out into the garden where the leaves and stalks are brown and bug-eaten. You can see a little lump of dirt where something was wrapped in a blanket and laid to rest along the rows of twisting vines. The front room looks out into the street, where the neighbors are all setting fire to their homes, barricading themselves inside, warm and snug, dearie. Don't forget about the bedroom, either. It sees into a dreary alley where hooligans are playing a game with an old man. The first 2 are hitting him with sticks, and the girl with them is kicking at his dry old ribs. Oh, to have those bones, to boil them in a pot. No one lives in my house anymore, dearie. No one you'd want to meet. When I lived there with my husband, we were fine, fine people. Vera Moray, everyone would say. Your house is as grand as Boyle Manor. Better, even. Your dinners are lavish, and your parties are the best. When that young Sokolov came to paint my portrait, I was nearly still in my prime. Radiant, he said, and he was just barely a man, so young, painting all the best people across the land. Everyone wanted a portrait by his hand, all my friends. I was the only one, dearie, wet with his paint, glistening on the canvas for a pretty coin. But it wasn't all parties and paintings. My husband and I weren't always at home, no. We traveled together, he and I, to the far ends of the Isles, beyond even, all the way to the red cliffs of Pandysia, to dig in the rock and crawl through the caves, holding up candles and squinting at the walls. Many precious things we came upon, but none so precious as the boy with the black eyes, dearie. All those marks and bones carved so deep and polished, so bright. I brought the old bones home, hid them from my dear husband. Then I learned to boil them and carve them myself. They made such good presents, dearie. The little mute boy took them home. He loved them so. All the time he came back with new bones for me, holding them up so I could see it in his eyes, even though his tongue was still. Granny, his eyes would say to me, carve these bones for me, make me another present. And he went so far, all the way to Dunwall Tower, the royal headsman himself now, my little mute boy and his shiny, shiny sword. Better bones were what I needed, you see. Better bones to carve and polish, scrape and gleam. My dear old husband was always tired. I made him soup and then he was sick. Better bones was all. For my little mute boy, carved in the name of the one with the black eyes. And after my husband was gone, given away as birthday gifts, I didn't want to live there anymore. So now I'm old and don't have many to give my presents to. It's sifting through the garbage for granny rags and feeding the little birdies that gather at my feet. No one wants to have tea, dearie, especially those rude louts on Bottle Street. Slackjaw and his boys always meddling with an old woman just trying to make her way. In the end, we'll be together with him, you and me in the dreary night with stars above and below, and always the one with the black eyes, dearie. Mystical wolfhound artifact. $500 coins, nice. Early life and criminal record, Slackjaw. Excerpt from a series of letters sent by a member of the Bottle Street gang. You want the chin wag on Slackjaw? What he was like when he was young, before he got his name? Oh, he's got a cool head now, but it weren't always like that in the days before he was boss of the Bottle Street gang. Time was young Slackjaw wasn't such a reasonable man. Like most of us, he grew up on the streets, running with a pack of ragamuffins and avoiding the law, pinching whatever he needed. Dark-haired and dark-eyed, smoking a pipe by the age of 10. For them born into the brothels or coming from the orphanages, it was either the gangs or working with the mudlarks, and no one wants that. Some got pressed into the Navy or put down in the mines run by the Pendleton or Boyle families. As hard as it was on the streets, as hungry as we all got, at least we was free. By the time we weren't little uns anymore, Slackjaw was one to watch, usually calling the shots when we took down a farmer's cart or sidewalk street vendor. He'd come up with the plan, give everyone some part to play, and decide on the split. Most of us just went along because we learned fast that we made out better like that. More food, more coin. Plus, none of us wanted to deal with Slackjaw when he was in a rage. He worked on a couple of big jobs with Black Sally across town, and that was enough to get the attention of the other bosses. He wasn't just a street kid anymore. Now he was an up-and-comer, which meant trouble. Another guy who fancied himself as such was Mike the Fish, who was working his way up running the protection racket among the factory women. One fine evening we were all taken in a bawdy show in the theater house. Mike the Fish and his lot are there in the cheap seats too, just down the aisle from us. Mike gets a wild idea, he wasn't big on planning, and throws a heavy ceramic spittoon at Slackjaw, hits him square in the face and breaks his jaw. We look to see if there's going to be a blood brawl, but Slackjaw just points at the door, and we all leave, with Mike laughing at our backs. Waking up the next day without telling us why, Slackjaw motions for us all to follow. He still can't say a word, so we just come along. We stop at the docks, and Slackjaw buys, actually pays coin for it, a heavy chain covered in hooks. It's for fishing in the deep, something you'd attach to a long line off the side of a ship. It's about 4 feet, made of thick links, and there are shark hooks coming off it at different angles. Slackjaw's got that thing wrapped around his left arm, dangling at his side. Not sure how he knew where Mike the Fish was staying, but when we reach his girl's house, Slackjaw throws a bottle through the window just like that. It's almost noon. There's a bunch of screaming inside, and Mike pokes his head out, looking wide-eyed and baffled. When he sees Slackjaw out in the street, a look comes over his face that still gives me the willies. Pure murder. Mike comes out the side door, bellowing like a blood ox, holding a cleaver, heading straight for Slackjaw. When they come together in the streets, Slackjaw spins and the shark hooks bite deep into Mike's arm and shoulder.
He screams, but Slackjaw holds onto the chain. He's standing there with his jaw broken, clenched tight, with the chain wrapped around his left arm, hooks sunk into Mike the Fish, just knifing him as fast as he can. Mike couldn't fight very well, hooked like that, and using his left hand, but he was a big guy, and it took a lot of stabbing before he went to his knees. Everyone was cheering at first, but then we all went quiet. It just kept going and going, until finally it was just Mike the Fish blubbering, crying like a baby, and the sound of Slackjaw's knife. When it was over, and here's the brilliant part, Slackjaw took out a note and stuck to Mike's face with a nail. It just said, "If you want a job, come to Bottle Street." Slackjaw didn't talk right for a couple of months, but word spread fast. By the end of the year, once we had a sizable gang going, he sent out letters to the other bosses, telling them that he was running a brand new crew over on Bottle Street. Most of them laughed or beat up the guys who delivered the letters. Green Eye Trish even came back missing a thumb, but apparently Slackjaw was expecting that kind of reaction and had a backup plan. A week later, 4 of the bosses were dead. Seemed like a series of unfortunate events, but everyone knew better. One shot dead by the watch while standing in the middle of a meat market, another slipping and falling into the water, out cold. One of the older bosses found in bed with his belly opened wide and a Tivian pear stuffed into his mouth. Still not sure what that meant. And Sheila Barnsworth was found bubbling in a cauldron of hot wax. Slackjaw sent out another set of letters, offers to the underbosses, telling them they'd be treated fair as peers. He even sent Green Eye Trish with one of the letters. All of the underbosses accepted. After spilling the guts of his main competition, Slackjaw went in for stabilizing his business, real neat-like, calling in favors, smoothing things over, giving everyone a little bit of coin or drink as a bonus, showing what he could be like as a boss. So everything got quiet, which always makes the boys of the City Watch nervous, of course. Word went out among the Royal Spymaster Snitches, the responsible citizens group they called themselves, telling everyone working in a shop or sweeping off the front steps of their homes to keep watchful eyes for Slackjaw and his men, trying to suss out what they were up to and what had just happened. But Slackjaw ain't stupid. He greased a few palms among the shopkeepers and the watch, too, telling them that he was in town to stay and that things would be run properly from now on, without so much blood. He was finally a real boss, ready to settle into the business of moving whiskey, running the hound fights, and offering up the ladies and gentlemen of the night, if you take my meaning. Then the plague came. At first it seemed like a good thing. A few people got sick, and everyone wanted to buy those potions from Sokolov or Piero. Health elixir, or spiritual remedy, they call them. Slackjaw told me he saw an opportunity. We already had an old whiskey factory with a still, where we could water the stuff down and sell it discounted. Doing the same with Sokolov's elixir was a smart plan. Pretty soon, everybody in the slums was sick and business was good. But after a while, there were so many people down with the plague that everyone got scared. Everybody started acting real nasty and everything fell apart. When people can't work, they don't have the coin for elixir, watered down or pure. When the Empress died, it seemed like Dunwall would slide into the void. Spymaster Burroughs took over and the Watch started using all that new Sokolov technology. Watchtowers, tall boys, and then them arc pylons. They put up a wall of light across Clavering Boulevard and cracked down hard. But Slackjaw surprised us again. Instead of leaving town on a boat bound for Morley or one of the other isles, he stayed and kept it all together. We get as much elixir to fight off the plague as the City Watch, with their taxes and rations, and that's kept us alive so far. Crowley, Bottle Street Gang. Okay, so... more bone charms somewhere? Let's see here. Heart! Oh, over here. Cool. Let's, switch off of that, because it's unsettling. Mystical fish. Field Survey notes, The Royal Spy. Excerpt from the personal memoirs of Hiram Burroughs, dated several years earlier. This is the 4th day, month of high cold. Progress continues on the suppression of gang activity in the distillery district, but more slowly than I'd expected. The ruffians operating there have been cunning, I'll grant them that, but it's only a matter of time. I'll see their leaders flogged in public and sent beneath the royal executioner's blade. If I had my way, that mute bastard would be working night and day, removing the heads that needed removing. Internally, the Empress does not seem pleased with my investigations. It seems that it is beyond her thinking, against her very nature as a trusting person, to believe that traitors move among us. But I know they do. They must. Excuse me. No, Jessamine would rather spend her time with the royal protector. At least he's likely to stop any immediate threat to her safety. But a strong arm is not what's needed against those who would undermine us. How will Corvo's sword stop a poisoned wine glass or an explosive delivered by courier? It will not. There are many threats around us, threats requiring meticulous efforts to police. Young Lady Emily is undisciplined, I'm afraid. Here within Dunwall Tower she receives instruction from the finest tutors known in the Isles. Yet her mother spoils her, and she spends most of her time lost in imagination, wasting her time drawing or asking Corvo to teach her to fight with wooden sticks. The girl might rule the Empire someday. Every moment spent at play is a moment wasted. Shoring up security for the main gate leading into Dunwall Tower has been another pet project of late. To think that back in his day, Emperor Kaldwin left it open to the public during the day, allowing anyone to come and go as they pleased. If it were up to me, I'd seal off access to the streets entirely, but the Empress won't hear of it. The waterlock is much easier to protect, and if it were the only way into the tower, traffic in and out would be greatly reduced. Someday, the wrong person is going to slip in and will suffer for it, mark my words. No amount of security is excessive when it comes to protecting heads of state. The Empress also disapproves of my plans for the Sokolov devices. Sokolov himself has no interest in security, of course, but he's vain and therefore keen to see his inventions deployed in any fashion. This wall of light he's been tinkering with has promise. In any case, at least I was able to convince the Empress to upgrade the pistols carried by the officers of the Watch. Why do I worry so when no one else seems to care? If I ever fall asleep, will it all sink into the ocean? Will the rough things clamber over the walls and fill themselves on our flesh? This is what I see in the same dream several times each month. If only I had more say in things, more authority, I could protect us all. Perhaps I've been working too hard. Dinner and an evening of conversation with a certain lady of refinement might be in order, perhaps somewhere nice in the estate district. Hiram Burroughs, Royal Spymaster. He sounds a bit crazy, a bit paranoid. I feel like, as much as he seemed to gain from the situation, he might not have anything to do with it. I'm not sure. Rumors and sightings. Dodd. Excerpt from an overseer's covert field report. For over a year now, I have lived away from the Abbey, without the company of my overseer brethren, or the guidance of the blind sisters of the oracular order. Days have passed with me sleeping in the dens of cut-purses, murderers and worse, and the nights have seen me prowling through the worst alleys and wretched corners of Dunwall. I have taken my meals with killers. At times I have ventured beyond the city walls, meeting in forgotten graveyards and the outlying ruins frequented by those of ill means. My beard has grown long, and I wear the weathered clothing and bits of boiled leather favored by the Bottle Street and Hatter gangs, and by those rough men and women who make their trade knifing others in return for coin. My hands have run red with blood, it's true, but I have selected my targets with care, choosing among those criminals and heretics who were not fit to live, executing them justly and using their deaths as a means of building my reputation. So far this trick has allowed me to make my name among my murderous colleagues without taking the lives of the innocent. My goal is singular. I must impress the assassin named Dodd in order to get close to him. Of all the practitioners of black magic we have tracked, none concern the Abbey as much as Dodd. It is said that his mother was a witch from one of the archipelagos off the Pandician coast, taken captive by pirates venturing far from the Isles. According to the legend, by the time the ship returned, the captain was dead, and the witch controlled the crew, with Dodd still a shadow in her belly. The earliest stories tell of a gang killer without mercy, moving among the shopkeepers and city watch officers of Dunwall like a reaper through wheat. Then a period of silence followed. Years we now believe he spent traveling the Isles, studying anatomy and the occult in the great halls of learning, and in hidden basements frequented by fellow dabblers in the forbidden arts. Dodd is even purported to have spent a winter in the Academy of Natural Philosophy itself, and for a time, before a schism developed, he counted the Brigmore witches among his allies. All the while, he honed his craft, and it is during this time that we believe he began to consort with the outsider. New reports emerged of a dusky-skinned assassin paid by the elite to eliminate their rivals in Dunwall and in the other major cities across the Isles. Those who saw him and lived numbered in the handful, but all of them reported something strange. He appeared and vanished like smoke. From a nearby rooftop he gestured, and a noblewoman stumbled from her balcony, falling to her doom on the cobblestones below. Most recently, as this new threat of plague has risen in Dunwall, Dodd has been seen leading a gang of men in dark leather, dressed as factory whalers in their vapor masks. They seem loyal beyond comprehension for one so unworthy, leading me to wonder if some of his magic is dedicated to lulling their minds, enslaving them. Only a month ago, one young girl claims to have come upon a strange scene. Carrying a bottle of milk home to her crippled brother, she was taking a shortcut through the tailor's district. In a narrow street, she passed beneath a window and heard unusual sounds from within. Pushing aside the ratty curtain, the girl saw into an abandoned apartment, used by miscreants for gambling and trading haberweed. An occult shrine had been erected against the far wall, which she recognized from the teachings given by her local overseer. A man she described as resembling Dodd was kneeling before the shrine, muttering to an unseen spirit, as if in argument. He took a carving made of pale bone from the altar before him, and the lights all went out in a gush of unclean wind. Quiet as a field mouse, she slipped away, running until she reached her home. There can be no doubt Dodd is an agent of the outsider and must die, for there is no limits to the evil this man might do. This is my solemn oath and the great purpose of my life. Until Dodd is dead, and his corruption has been purged from the world, I will continue to move among the depraved, winding my way toward him. I will not drop my guise or don my overseer's mask again until Dodd breathes no more. Bone charms. Let's see. I like the sound of that one, but I don't know if that's something I need to keep equipped all the time. Let's void channel 1 of 7. I can use that many? Nice. Delicate touch, definitely. Like good lungs. Quick dodge. silver affinity. And fencer. That sounds good. I have a lot of coin now. I feel I should visit Piero. No, it does not look like I can get there from here. So, yes. Looks like this is not the way out. Alright then, back I go.
Should I clear space for Samuel then?
If you like, but he won't use it.
Why?
He can't sleep in regular beds anymore, or that's what he says. Says he was in the Navy too long. Can you believe it?
Oh.
That pile of wood out there? It's a hovel he built from an old rowboat. Where does Admiral Havelock find these people, I wonder? I had a sailor for a boyfriend once. He thought he'd strike gold digging in the Pandician cliffs. They found his ship drifting empty.
Good day, Master Corvo. Lydia and I trade chores sometimes, and I'm starting to think I never come out ahead. She's a smart one.
Well, let's get down to it. First off, I know that assassination is dark business. But sometimes, good men have to do bad things to make the world right. Our purpose is clear. We want to restore Her Majesty's line by finding and putting Emily Cauldron on the throne. To those ends, we'll hide, act in shadow, take them apart, piece by piece. Tonight, High Overseer Campbell dies by your hand. It won't be easy, He's protected by his overseers, an army of religious zealots. But if anyone can do it, you can. Your exploits are legendary. Campbell carries a private journal. Once you've eliminated him, get the journal, because we think it contains Emily's location. Recovering her is obviously critical, assuming she's alive. That's the gist of it. Remember our cause and strike true. We're counting on you. Another thing. Campbell is holding a former overseer by the name of Martin. He's one of us, and if you manage to find him, give him whatever help you can. He's a master strategist, and he got caught working for our cause. It'd be good to have him back here at the Hellpits.
Yes, sir, Admiral, sir.
You know, I tried to attend services with the overseers for a while. They've just gotten more and more, I don't know, rabid about the 7 strictures and witchcraft and all that nonsense.
Decree that plague ordinances will remain in effect through the month.
Corvo. Hello. I'm Callista. I work here for Admiral Havelock. I'm sorry to intrude on your business, but this is important. I suspect you're going to kill the High Overseer. That wretched man. There's really no reason for you to listen to me. But my uncle, Jeff Kernow, still serves as captain in the City Watch. But he's a good man, and my only family. The chatter in servant circles is that Campbell just took delivery of an exotic poison. And I think I know why. My uncle's not corruptible like the rest of them. Campbell is going to poison my uncle. Do you think you could protect him? You used to do that, right? Before you had your current profession. Before you became an assassin.
I will do what I can. Was that there before?
I overheard the Admiral at breakfast, talking about the overseers. That's all I heard. And I think it's better if I don't know too much about
does that mean that the spirit is never released into oblivion? I can keep a heart beating forever with electricity, but what does that mean for any essence trapped within?
He's my uncle, and he means a lot to me. His name is Jeff Kernow. Captain Jeff Kernow.
I am uneasy pursuing
Don't be alone.
avenues that emanate from my dreaming mind.
Oh,
You traveled with my
hello,
uncle,
Absolute Power.
didn't you? Doing something for the Empress.
What can I do for you?
I found a lot of money. Let's make me better. Bigger, faster, harder, better, faster, stronger. There we go. Da, da, da. Now wait a second. Total 4. I thought I had like 7 bone charms active. Did they not work like I thought they did?
What can I do for you?
I'll need it for the future? Okay. Thank you for that tip. Save game. I suppose at this point I've got sufficient equipment and such. probably is stuff hiding around here somewhere. Yes, good, good. I thought there might be something over there. Stop that. You will be mine, fish. I will command you, and you will obey. It will be like Aquaman, only more gross because the water here is terrible. Stop it. Leave me alone, hagfish. I have no quarrel with you. But should you continue to bite me, I will have quarrel with you. I don't know where I'm going with this. Another rune? Okay. Say, is there anything in here? Possibly, but it doesn't look like I can get there right now. Freaking fish, leave me alone. You know what's strange? Usually I am, like, terrified of being underwater in video games, but this one doesn't really bother me, at least not yet. Oh, it hurts. Rune. Okay. That's good to know, at least. Mostly I'm just like an obsessive explorer in video games. Bin's time. That sounds like a pretty good option. I like it. Indeed. Is that a thing? That is a thing. Wait, I don't think I've really glanced over here either. Is there anything at all? Looks like probably no. Okay, well, back over here.
Ready to go? Just give the signal.
Sure thing, Sam. Gotcha. High Overseer Campbell leads the city's militant religious faction and is a close ally to the Lord Regent. Campbell is completely corrupt and holds the secret to Emily's location. Infiltrate the office of the High Overseer, steal Campbell's journal, and eliminate him. An ally to the Loyalists, Martin is being held there. Free him and allow him to escape. I misread that as feel free to allow him to escape for a moment.
It'll be a rough trip. Used to be to go straight up Clavering Boulevard, but now it's not so easy. Half the city's dead of the plague. The other half's fighting over what's left. City Watch still holds the bigger streets, and they've set up those wall of light checkpoints. A man walks through one of those, and he ends up burned to a crisp. Everything not controlled by the City Watch is gang territory. There are the real odd birds living on the fringes like that Granny Rags. They say she's nuts. I don't know which is worse. Just take your pick.
He's a traitor then? A double agent, rather, I suppose? Huh. Hello, Dragonfly. That's pretty. Is there anything back here? No. Okay. Hello, rats.
Let's go. It's nearly midnight. But easy, damn it. Keep them in the boat. Canal's got enough shit in it as it is.
Dearest Gwyn, the city is going to burn. I've sold everything, so there's nothing for me here now except you. I'll wait for you where Clavering Boulevard crumbles into the river, where we used to meet. We'll take the money I've made and bribe our way onto a passing whale ship. I won't leave without you, and if you won't come, I'd rather be rat food. Love, Arthur.
Keep them coming. Hey, what is it? I think that last one was moving. What? Yeah, the little one. Not possible. I inspected them myself. Keep working.
Something ain't moving no more. Ha! You little bastard. 1, 2, 3.
Oop, that didn't work so well.
Flank him!
Oh, is this where you were telling me to go? Shoot. I'm not a hagfish, you're a hagfish.
Can't stay hidden forever.
Come on, walk off. Gotcha.
This is ridiculous. Stupid rats. Plague. Elixir.
Blink long.
Attention, Dunwall citizens. John Clavering Boulevard has been
Clavering,
designated
okay.
a restricted travel area. Any citizens are liable to search or imprisonment at the discretion of the City Watch.
So he walks over there. And I go right there.
Attention Dunwall citizens. This is a special announcement from our Honorable Lord Regent.
This is the Lord Regent speaking. It is with regret that I announce that my term
That sounds like a very good
Regent has
idea.
been extended through the month of harvest and potentially beyond. In addition, in this continuing crisis, the overseers of the Abbey of the Everyman remain in service to the state and are empowered to enforce order whenever and wherever necessary. We owe our thanks to High Overseer Campbell for the generous loan of their services.
I told you them.
Oh, it's inside there. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, there's some over there too, though. Oh, the door's closed. It looked open from a distance. Okay, then. Up here to see Granny Rags. Food.
Yes, I will. Dear? Is that you, my dear husband? My eyes aren't what they used to be. Have you seen my little birdies? The dear things must be starving without their granny. Here, birdies. Here. Oh, my. I think I have gentlemen callers again, but not the way I used to, not the nice ones. I hear them, and they're not very polite ones either. Granny Rags, let us in. Oh, well, they'll go away again if they know what's good for them. But what a bother. Here's the key to the front door, love. You'll see to those ruffians, won't you? I think the little birdies are sad today.
Let us in, Granny.
Oh, no, that's not.
I bet you can't even hear us. She's blind, not deaf. We're here you're washing. She's not stupid either. Have it your way. We're here to take your money, Granny. We're wasting our time. How much could she have? She digs in trash for a living. Let's get it straight. I'm dry as an overseer's friend. She's been digging for 80 years. Would you look? Come on, let's get this guy!
Whoa! Hey there. Jeez.
I know you're here.
Well, that didn't work so well. Let's try that again. I should blink to the other side of them. That's a good idea.
Let us in, Granny.
Oh, okay, that's a better idea. That's not what I meant to do. What?
She's been digging for 80 years.
Ooh. Carrying anything? Ah, incendiary bullets. That would have been good.
Oh no, that's not a nice thing. Just garbage. Garbage, 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 garbage. All of it. Oh, my dear. I knew you'd help me with those ill-mannered boys. My brave man. Listen, Granny has a birthday present for you. I got it from the outsider, and now I'm giving it to you. Go on. It's upstairs. On the vanity. I think you'll cut a nice figure with it. Remember how we used to dance? Our parties were even grander than those at the Boyle Manor. Everyone wanted to come. I told you the knives go on the left. They've always gone on the left. You never listen. I hope you like the little gift I got for you. It's the least I could do for turning those louts away. I can't bear these Bottle Street children. Ruffians, every last one of them. Rotten apples. And that slackjaw is the worst lot. You know what I just thought of? You could do something else for me. Another little favor. And I'd give you another present. Another lovely rune carved from the bones of a dead whale. Do you remember my doctor, dear? Dr. Galvani? Now there was a clever man. He's got all sorts of nasty rat guts and disease in his laboratory. Wouldn't it be a shame if some of that mess found its way into the Bottle Street Gang's elixir still? That'd teach him. See to it, dear. I'll find you another present just
Yeah,
like
I was going to say
this.
that sounds like something that
Galvani
would
lives on
cause a
Clavering
lot
Boulevard.
of
Or at least he used to.
chaos. Is that what I don't want to be causing?
Now run off. My baby birdies are hungry. So precious. But they're shy. You'll have to go or they won't come.
Downstairs and through the back door.
Yes, I would, indeed. I told you the knives go on the left. They've always gone on the left. You never listen. Get out. I think the little birdies are sad today. Granny, 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 come out with me instead. Granny, 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 you can't because you're dead.
Be careful, Corvo. They call her Granny Rags. You wouldn't recognize her real name, or even the name of her family. But an emperor begged for her hand once, and rich young men fought each other for her favor. I watched her consider them all, measure their worth, and find them wanting. Then, she made a different choice. You're on your way to face the High Overseer, the leader of a great cult dedicated to loathing me. What will you do, I wonder?
Shoot. Granny has work to do. Off you go.
rats. Jeez. Huh. Don't want to go directly that way. That was not even a door. Good, good. Rat skewer? Nah. Well, it's good to have you at my back here. Don't go in there? Okay. I'm glad I hesitated. Bullets. I can't just jump up there. Ooh, I can jump up here, though. Whee. That sounds like a bad time. Already read that. Hemlock essence. Mother's Journal. 8th entry. It's the 4th day of the month of rain. Morris is sick, and so are the children. I've avoided it thus far, which is good fortune, since it has fallen on me to care for them. 9th entry. The city watch comes and goes, knocking on doors and asking for signs of plague. Even our neighbors cannot be trusted. Earlier it was difficult to keep the children quiet. Now they sleep most of the time. 10th entry. The flies have set in. I try to keep them away, but I can barely get close. They sting so. Most of the time, Morris won't answer me when I try to talk to him from across the room. 11th entry. Morris is gone. I don't know what I'll do. For now, all my hope is reserved for the children. Leaving the flat for a while near dawn, I found some plague bags from a guard booth while no one was around. It took a while, but I got Morris into one of the bags. At least his face is covered. 12th entry, young Robert has passed. The star of my sky is gone. Page missing. 17th entry, Elise stopped breathing in the middle of the night. She was such a headstrong girl, I can hardly believe she was overcome. She was always near as I cut up hagfish or vegetables, arguing with me about everything. 18th entry, it is the 4th day of the month of wind. It has settled in that they are lost to me, all of them. I cannot bring myself to call the dead counter. 19th entry, I have the fever now. No guards come near anymore. Yeesh. Let's see, I can get over that way. Who do I want to get past? Let's see, where am I trying to get to? That way. Okay. Probably want to dash down that way.
You hear Morris was dragged off by the overseers? You always amuse me.
Actually, wait. Let me save first.
Stupid goddamn.
Sounds like he's right on top of me.
Huh?
Oh, jeez. Hold on, reloading. Because, I did not expect him to come around there.
Gotcha now.
Oh, seriously?
Someone help me out. Can't stay hidden forever. Get around it.
Oh, this is bad. Seriously? Hell. Come on. Okay, well that way didn't work either. I have a message. Okay, one more try, then I should probably call it for the day. Oh, hey, there's another spot right there. There we go. That's a thing. Sure, why not? Let's try this. Oh, that's where I was. Herp. Okay, well then.
Did you hear Morris was dragged off by the Overseers for some black magic nonsense?
Please.
Cool.
Not now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
That's just ridiculous.
to trying those. I'm
rats.
enjoying the gameplay
Plague.
now that I've gotten the
Elixir.
hand of it. Now that I've
crap.
gotten the hang of it. And the story is pretty interesting too. There we go.
What's it look like? Go on. Toss the damn rat already.
I like this power. Oh, that's fun. He's got a rat.
Never gets old.
Poor rat.
Seen anything scary? Bug someone else.
Oh, that was poor timing right there. You know, since I actually need to be going, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it there. Thanks for watching. To my one viewer I have currently, but anybody watching in the future on the YouTubes, I'll be back tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. Excuse me, for Thursday Throne on Radio PSI, where I will be playing. What was it I was going to be playing? Tales from Monkey Island. Going to be starting that series tonight. Should be able to clip through those at a good pace. And then I'll be back again tomorrow at... Gonna aim again for 2 p.m. Eastern for more of this on Holding Court. And Saturday, again at 9 p.m. Eastern, is Throne of Games proper, where we'll be continuing Tesla Effect. Cool, thanks, Absolute Power. But yeah, Thursday Throne and Throne of Games are both on the Radio PSI channel, and Holding Court is here on my own channel, or on the Radio PSI channel. That one hosts me during this show. I'm just trying to do my own thing during the days now. So, yeah, thanks again, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye. Exit. And, okay, now goodbye.